Hey, kids, I'm Smokey Bear, and this is my schoolhouse. Do you like to be outside, in the forest, or on the water? I do too. And here's what I did on my vacation last summer. I did some bird watching and went fishing. Here's a shot of me catching bluegills on my favorite lake. And this was the best. Roasting marshmallows over a warm campfire. Any of you here like to eat s'mores as much as I do? Oh, I thought so. But as we all know, having a campfire or any fire in the outdoors means we have to be responsible.
Boy, that's the truth, Smokey. Hey, kids, I'm Ranger Bob. And it's my job to put fires out when they happen. And sad to say, that keeps me busy every year, especially when we don't get much rain and the woods are dry. Now, do you know what kind of things can start a fire like this?
What do you think, kids? What things can cause a wildfire? Good answers. Now, what do you think all these things have in common? If people would just be more careful, most of these wildfires could be prevented.
That's right, Smokey. Most wildfires in Wisconsin are caused by people. But you know what really makes me sad? When boys and girls like you play with matches. Even worse things could happen. You could catch your clothes on fire. You could burn your home down. And just because you were playing with matches. Right, Smokey?
That's right, Ranger Bob. So kids, if you find matches or a lighter, what do you think you should do? You're right. Give the matches or lighter to your mom or dad or to another adult. Smokey's friends never play with matches.
You bet, Smokey. Matches are tools, not toys. And just as we're careful with scissors, so we don't cut ourselves, we must be careful with fire too. So a good fire doesn't go bad. Oh, that's right, Smokey. Not all fire is bad. Candles on a birthday cake. Good fire, right? Especially if an adult is around. And what about the barbecue grill? Well, that's a good fire. That's a great fire. Helps cook our hamburgers and hot dogs.
Who here has been camping? Raise your hands really high. If you enjoy camping as much as I do, then you probably had one of these. Campfires are good fires because they help cook our food, give us some light, and keep us warm at night. But when you have a campfire, it's important to build it safely and be very careful around it.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Smokey. Now let me show you what makes a good campfire go bad. While this campfire may look nice and warm and cozy, it doesn't have rocks or a metal ring around it. And leaving your campfire or any fire alone is always a bad idea. And did you notice all the pine needles and leaves on the ground? Plus the tent. The tent is way, way too close. A campfire like this can spread, and all of this will burn.
And that would make me and all my forest friends very, very sad. So, Ranger Bob, can you tell us how to turn that bad campfire into a good campfire?
Easily done, Smokey, in just a few quick, simple steps. First, use one of these things. It's called a fire ring, and you build your campfire inside of it. Now, if you don't have one, you can build a circle of rocks and build your campfire in that to contain it so it stays put. And remember what we said about leaves and pine needles? That's right. Clear away all those things on the ground around your fire. And you should always have these nearby.
I mean, Alex, bring the firewood. I think we're ready for that.
That one is so good. That was good.
Last but not least, let's make sure this fire is out, dead out. Pour lots of water on it and stir the hot ashes around with your shovel until it's cold as ice. And kids, you can help Smokey and me by sharing those safety tips with your parents, okay?
You said it, Ranger Bob. We need everyone who lives in or visits the forest to be very, very careful with fire. So will you promise to help me prevent wildfires? Good, I hope so. And remember, kids, only you can prevent wildfires.
Wildfires live in Wisconsin. We're geared up. Are you?
Hi, I'm Jason Hennes, Forest Ranger with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources out of Waupaca. I'm here to talk to you guys about fire safety, fire prevention, and how we at the DNR put out forest fires. You've already heard some of the fire safety rules, and at this point in time, I want to show you some of our equipment. One of the things I want to show you is one of our bulldozer units, also known as a tractor plow. I'm going to show you how it functions, what we do with it, and then I'm going to show you what we do on an actual forest fire. Hope you enjoy.
When we get paged to a forest fire, we need to know exactly where we're going so we can respond at a moment's notice. When we get to a fire, we also need to find a nice spot to park just in case we need to get loaded up and out of a certain area real fast. When our bulldozers get to a fire, we use this big plow in the back of the bulldozer to create a 6 to 8 foot wide mineral soil break all the way down to the dirt because dirt will not burn. This plow cuts through roots and trees and makes a really nice ditch. Sometimes we also need to move big obstacles such as this big rock. Sometimes we can't use our plows and we need to use the blade on the bulldozer. And what we can do here is create a nice smooth path that we can get our fire trucks to drive down. Sometimes we find that we have to drive over trees and sticks and brush and other small rocks in order to get to where we need to put out the fire. sometimes we need to push that material out of the way so we can get fire trucks and other equipment into the fire. We also have water we carry on our bulldozers. In this instance, the operator is simulating that he's spraying out fire next to his bulldozer. He can change his stream of water so it's a small stream or a real wide stream, depending on what he needs to do to put out whatever fire he's working with. When we have to work in the woods, we have to push over little trees so we can get to where we need to go and put in plow line where we need to put in plow line to stop the fire. Here is the Waupaca bulldozer unit plowing through the woods, simulating cutting through the woods to stop a fire. Sometimes we have to put in multiple plow furrows and make our dirt wider, depending on how big the fire is. When we're all done in a fire, we need to load up our equipment after making sure it's nice and clean, because there's other nasty plants out there that we don't want to move to another property. Now that you've seen what our bulldozer actually does, let's take a look at what the bulldozer does on a real fire. Here we are responding to a fire outside of Waupaca on May 2nd of 2015. As you can see, the smoke column is getting bigger and darker as we're sitting here. We're now ready to unload our bulldozer unit, known as a tractor plow. Pay close attention to the amount of radio traffic that's going on and how much we have to pay attention to. Here our tractor plow operator is receiving his briefing from the incident commander. She is telling him how she wants him to attack the fire with his tractor plow.
Go!
Pay attention to how intense the fire is and what happens when that tractor plow operator gets close to a pine tree.
Jeff, watch it.
Sometimes we start plowing and the fire gets too intense. We need to back away from the fire and go a little further away. This camera operator is also using a drip torch, which is something we use to burn all the grass and brush between the plow furrow and the main fire. That way we can have a nice black area that the fire burns up to.
Make sure it doesn't come up behind us. Tell them what we got here.
As you just heard, we've requested the fire department members to watch the line behind us. We have to make sure that the fire does not jump the line, because if it does, then we are put in jeopardy if it burns over everything.
Hello again. By now you've seen how we run with our tractor plows, our big trucks. You've seen some forest fires. You've seen how we put them out. Most of our forest fires in Wisconsin are started by people burning debris in their own yards. Maybe it's garbage, maybe it's sticks and leaves. A lot of people burn a lot of things. But what I really want you to take away from this is that we all need to do our part in protecting nature, the woods, our wildlife. And if you see an out-of-control forest fire, I need you to call that into 911 immediately and tell that 911 dispatcher where that fire is. We're all in this thing together. We need to protect nature. You guys do your part. I don't want you putting it out. Don't want you getting hurt. We'll come put it out. That's our jobs. We have the special tools and training. Thank you very much. It's Ranger Jason saying, have a nice day.
And remember, kids, only you can prevent wildfires.